seems so unreal to me now. It's hard to believe that it started just a few short months ago. I was going to be the next great documentary filmmaker. It just never occurred to me how quickly things could spiral out of control. It all began at the airport.
A cold depression comes and fills my mind. I'm gonna sit here until the day that I die. And all that chicken smoke when this world falls down. I'm gonna...
Prince Edward Island has a reputation for being a conservative place to live. Despite this perception, one of today's most innovative filmmakers has chosen the island, my home, as the location for his next production. The visionary David Stravinsky, an obscure filmmaking genius whose work I was unaware of till I happened upon his website. To be honest, when I meet him, I don't really know what to expect.
Ah, the paparazzi. Here to steal one moment from another. Are you with the local news? What documentary? Oh, the documentary about me making Christmas bloody Christmas. Yes, filmmaking about filmmaking. How deliciously postmodern. Yes, well. Oh, this is Nigel. Don't worry about him. He's sort of a spiritual apprentice of mine.
Right.
Yes. That's it, Nigel. Merge with it, lad. Be one with it.
Oh, I'm with this view.
Good, then we're on the same page.
Oh, just let me sleep. I'll meet you at the hotel.
I'll find one.
Hey man, it's not that way at all. You gotta understand. A cold depression comes and fills my mind. I'm gonna sit here till the day that I die. And all my chicken smoke and down. I'm gonna love them to the end.
Oh, God, I gotta take a new one. You see it there, Nigel, don't you? That magnificent skyline. I mean, to the untrained eye, it just looks like a small urban metropolis, but if you look in between the spaces, it's a thriving, macrocosmic mega thing. City.
I'm trying to follow you, David, but... Well, to be honest, I don't see any skyline at all.
Poor inebriated fool. That's because it's an implied skyline. You can't see it, you can only feel it and understand it. The whole thing is just astonishingly
Implied?
Yeah, it's implicational.
That's brilliant. You're always right, David. You always get a bang on the money. Eh?
Well.
It's just amazing.
Well,
The implied skyline.
yes.
I can only blame my stupid eyes for not having seen this stupid implied skyline in
Well.
the first place. You always fail me.
Patience, Nigel. Oh, always patience. You'll learn.
You're right, David. You're always right. You know that.
Oh, yes.
So, what is this implied skyline indicative of then, eh?
Well, neo-impressionism, of course.
Neo-impressionism.
Well,
That's just genius. Brilliant.
I was wondering if you could shed some light on your relationship with David Stravinsky.
Well, my relationship with David?
Yes. How did the two of you first meet? What prompted you to work with this man? What are some insights you could give to me on David's...
Oh, I see. You mean my business relationship with David Stravinsky, yes? An inquisitive little thing, aren't you? No, let's see now. I first met David during the Falkland Wars. See, I was sent off to that war as the British government felt it was important that the sons of titled families participate, you know. We're all in this together sort of shtick. At any rate, David was a war correspondent at the time, for whom it was never really clear, but I met him when I became separated from my regiment. I didn't become separated as much as my poor sense of direction sort of guided me off in the opposite direction of the troops, but it was a quite inappropriate behavior for a commanding officer, so they tell me. No, where was I now? Yes, separated from my troops. Anyway, I was wandering off through the bush until I came across this charming little pub in a remote village called the Nag's Head, I believe. I spent about 3 weeks there drinking. Mostly a blur, the whole event. David Stravinsky saved my life during that war.
Oh,
How's
really?
that for a war story?
Really?
Yes, at one point he warned me off this particularly wicked moonshine made by a local shepherd. The tragic stuff. The moonshine ended up blinding 3 of the soldiers, left another one for dead, and there was this one officer with a quite persistent and ultimately incurable giggling affliction. Sort of sad and funny at the same time when you think about it. At any rate, I didn't see Stravinsky for years after that. Not until that fateful night in Amsterdam, where I got tossed out of a brothel for, well, it seems their animal husbandry laws aren't quite as forgiving as one would expect. But anyway, there I am in the gutter, and who do I see in the gutter right next to me but the man himself, David Stravinsky? It's like karma. You know, he's looking for a new financial backer, and I'm looking for some meaning in life, some sort of fulfillment. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Mm-hmm. So you began working with Stravinsky.
I have contributed financially to his films, yes. Now, the real art, our art, is in the living. See? We live every moment like a beautiful thought, ignoring all else until reality has no choice but to comply. See? In the films, the films, they're nothing but a byproduct, sort of like what's left over afterwards, like shit, you know? The films are shit, but the shit of someone who eats a fairly well-balanced and healthy diet. Huh? Shit nonetheless, but shit is... I don't know if what I'm saying here is making any sense to you, really, but it sounds right, eh? It feels right, and, well, you know, I'll stick with it. What the fuck?
Rusty, my man, you may well have outdone yourself. This place is perfect.
Whatever, but you know, I'm gonna need some more cash to pay for the space and the crew.
Nigel! Nigel! Don't play with that. Nigel, Rusty here needs money. Just give me a thing.
There we go. Bring on the art, eh, Rusty? So, how much green are we talking here?
Well, I need some money for the crew, for the rental on the space, catering, for beer, for whores,
Right, just spill it out, Rusty.
another
What you need?
another 10,000.
Another 10,000. Cha-ching. That's great, Justin. That's just fantastic. So, Stravinsky, what would you say this is indicative of, eh?
Blatant materialism.
Right. I knew that one. There you go. And do your magic, Rusty.
Oh, you can count on me.
Now say, Rusty, before you go, why don't you say a few words to your new crew?
Can I have your attention, please? All right, over the next few weeks, we're going to be working together. I realize that many of you have no experience working in the film industry, but that's all right. You ask questions when you have them, it'll all work out just fine. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the man, the director of this film, the man himself, David Stravinsky. Has anyone seen David Stravinsky? Try some. So what do you think? 2 G's, man? 2 G's is good? Ooh, it's good. Would I rip you off?
That's pretty good.
Here, you hold on to this. Go on. What the fuck are you doing here? What's your problem? Follow me everywhere. What's this shit all about? This is invasion of fucking privacy. I got rights. I got rights, you hear me? Stravinsky's gonna hear about this. Oh, fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, people with vices of all kinds, lend me your ears.
He talks funny. Always talks funny, no?
Yes, well, I believe we've done really everything we can here today, which I admit wasn't much of anything. So, yes, we've done everything. And now I suggest that we bid farewell to this particular form of drudgery and embrace a distraction or two.
You hear?
Saucy. Now that gives me an idea. Being in such a picturesque location, I suggest a walking tour of the town. When in Rome, when in Rome, when in Rome, yada 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 yada. So, then on to a demonstration of neo-hedonism.
Yes.
The initiated will of course understand what I'm implying.
It's about time.
Blair, I hope you brought your hard hat and windbreaker because this is going to be a blast.
Totally, man. This neo-hedonism shit is what sold me on this project in Europe. Oh, Blair, I really don't think you know what you're in for.
Neo-hedonism. I think I have a clue as to what he has in mind.
Really? Whatever. When he first started going on about that crap, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but what a party it all turned out to be.
Freaky party.
Yeah.
It's a debauchery extravaganza, Blair. Stravinsky, what do you say we just skip this whole tourist bit and get right on down to getting all fucked up, eh?
Yeah.
No, my good friend. The path of the middle must always be observed. Even by those of us who celebrate excess, the experience must be diversified.
Just how can you always be so right?
I'm gonna have to skip on the whole tourism thing. I'm gonna need about 10 G's for party supplies, if you catch my drift.
Yes, Rusty, we catch you like Taipei crabs. Nigel, make with the pen and be useful.
Ah, yes. Of course, checkbooks. Randy, get your head down here. There we go. 10 G's. That'll do it, eh? Shows the pen indeed is mightier than the sword, as they say. Right.
Now, Blair, at this juncture, I feel your knowledge of this town would prove to be most invaluable. You see, for the next item on our itinerary, we require an establishment where the management and the clientele would not be... Well, let's let's just say the sort of place where we can let our hair down collectively with behavior bordering on the clinically psychotic. Do you know of such an establishment, Blair?
I do know of such a place. I've never, ever been there myself, but I definitely know where it is.
Excellent.
Oh, right on. Come on in. I'm just, fixing myself up for you guys.
Well, so, Don, is this the first time you've worked on a Stravinsky film?
Yeah, it is.
So you've had some experience in film?
Yeah, I've done a lot of films, actually. I think the last time I sat down and tried to come up with a number, it was something like 526.
But that's a good number of films. Did you do a lot of extra work or something?
Yeah, I did some extra work. I was the body double and a few others, for those close-up shots where size really matters. But no, I think of all of those movies, I probably starred in about 300 of them.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. No offense intended, but I've never heard of you.
Oh, that's right. You probably know me by my screen name. I'm Rod Strongbone.
Again, that doesn't help me really at all.
Fuck off, really? Haven't you ever seen Pocahontas? Come on, I got a Best Actor for that one. What about Night of the Giving Head? Jesus, that was Best Picture in '98. You've never heard of any of these?
I think I know what's going on now. These movies, these are porno flicks, right?
Adult erotica, yeah, that's been my thing.
You see, that's been the problem. I'm not really into pornography, so I haven't seen any of your acting.
Oh, that's really too bad, You really ought to check it out sometime. I've done some amazing work. Maybe I could interest you in a free sample?
Whoa!
Shit, the last time I did an interview was for this XXX review. I had this chick giving me head the whole time.
How did you first get involved in this project?
Oh, that's a funny story, really. You see, I kind of developed this whole booze and drugs problem, the whole LA thing, right? Yeah, like working on the sets, people started calling me Limpy and Old Softy. Word got out. It got harder and harder to get work, so I figured it was just about time to check myself into one of those, what do you call them, clinics. Yeah, where celebrities go to get themselves cleaned up, you know what I mean?
The Betty Ford?
Actually, no, it was a place that's just a little more low rent than that. It was the Mackenzie Phillips Clinic.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, well, it's not really that well known. It's kind of a place where celebrities no one has really heard of go. Yeah, so anyway, I'm there, and this call comes in from a guy named David Stravinsky. Says he's seen me in one of my films and loves my work. Wants to give me a role in his next project, like a legitimate part. At first it's like, yeah, right, I figured it was just my crack dealer fucking with me or something, I was still into him for some cash and shit like that, so fuck that, I mean, the last thing I need is to be straight and dead, right? But anyway, he calls again and says he'll wire me like $10,000 if I get my ass over to Europe. So then it just clicks. It's like, wait a minute. There is not a fucking crack dealer on the face of this earth that would let me anywhere near $10,000. So the money shows up and I'm out of there, man, right on to Europe. Is it Paris? Or, no. Prague? Is that a place? Whatever. Started with a P. I don't know. At any rate, it was a great place to party.
In Europe, at any rate.
Yes, we were in Europe. That much I do know.
So, Don, I hope I'm not getting too personal with this next question, but I have to ask. You admit to being in a treatment center for drug and alcohol abuse, but I couldn't help but notice that you are drinking and doing stuff again. Do you think that leaving the treatment center early, was that wise?
Oh, well, probably not, but, now that I've got this part in a legitimate film, I really don't think I need that kind of help anymore, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. What do you mean?
Well, Blair, it's kind of like this. there's really a lot more to acting than, you know, staying hard for an hour and a half or being able to come on cue. The money shots. You follow me?
Yeah, Don, I kind of knew there was more to acting, but I still don't know where you're going with this.
Well, all the drugs and the booze and the booze and the drugs, you know, they really start to affect my ability to keep the captain sailing for long periods of time. You know what I mean? But in this type of film, I can act and get stoned and drunk all at the same time. It's fucking great. Well, you know, like not like totally fucked up or anything, but stoned nonetheless.
Do you consider yourself to be an alcoholic or an addict?
Oh, totally. I'm a big-time alcoholic. And a huge crackhead, too, but I guess not really a bad one or anything. But you know, one good thing has come of 6 months in rehab. I'm back up to 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 42 seconds sailing time before Captain decides to fire off his cannons. You know, Blair, I don't want to overstep any boundaries here or anything again, but you really ought to check it out sometime. It's fucking unbelievable.
Smoking, drinking, all these dark places, death fascination. You, me, everybody like us, we spend our whole lives metaphorically dancing with death, forever tempting our final chapter. Temptation is sex. Sex and death, all the same. Forever embraced in an orgasmic tango.
Well, what the hell are you trying to say? Trying to say, like, screw dead people or something?
Woman turns around and says, you know, that's no pig, that's a duck. Says, I was talking to the duck.
Yeah, you know, the world that is screwed up. But you know why? Adam, he didn't have a mother.
I don't need to screw dead people, all right? I don't care what you've heard. I can get all the live women I want.
So you believe in Adam and Eve, creationism, all that stuff?
No, not really, but sad. Poetry. Oh, a motherless Adam. A distant father, God. No real nurturing.
Oh, this coke and booze goes right to my tube snake. Oh, I can all let the boy out soon, everybody. Somebody better be ready to take every inch of him.
Do you want to go to the washroom for oral sex?
No, thank you.
Woohoo!
I kid you not, Rusty. The gentleman was born with his testicles protruding from his forehead.
I proclaim that you are an ignorant, obtuse man of very limited intelligence. Your existence offends me. You single-handedly cast doubt upon over 100 years of evolutionary theory. You, sir, are a boob.
Eventually, they became so large they would obscure his eyesight, and he had to turn to a visor to keep his danglies out of his eyes,
You're full of shit, Mitch. I don't know what to say. No, I know I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer and all, but you know, I got feelings too. All right? You know, I thought me and you we had like a friendship developing or something, but you know, I guess I was wrong, right? You know, alone, always alone.
God's honest truth, Rusty. There were medical journals that described it as the most bizarre and offensive birth defect in history.
I had forgotten that I was dealing with a real someone. Flesh and blood, not just a caricature of a moron. I'm sorry. So truly sorry.
Just imagine Going through your life, constantly being hit in the nuts. What a headache that would be, eh? Headache.
Why do we do this to one another? So casually wounding each other. It's insanity. When will we ever learn? Never, that's when.
Alright, that's it. You're ready. Good job.
Jesus. You wouldn't touch Jesus now, would you? You wouldn't touch Stravinsky.
I'm sorry, but we have been here since 7:30. Is it like him to be this late?
It's not like Stravinsky to be anything at all. He doesn't go by structures or schedules, particularly not his own.
Doesn't all this wasted time bother you? I mean, isn't it expensive?
Let me tell you something about Stravinsky. David Stravinsky has never wasted a moment. He doesn't know how. I mean, what appears to you on the surface is as wasted time. Everything we've done, or more importantly haven't done to this point, is all integral to the making of the film. I mean, relationships have to be allowed to develop, tensions nurtured, temperament manipulated. See, I can assure you, whatever he's up to at this very moment is directly or indirectly of relevance to the making of the film.
You know better than I.
That's probably him right there. Calling to tell us of some fantastic new location he's found, no doubt. Hello? Well, how are you? Well, you don't say. That's incredible. Just fantastic. We'll be right on down there, old boy. You hang in there.
Has he found some great locations?
Much, much better than that, Blair. He's been arrested, and he needs our bail.
Emo dance.
So I finally caught up with them at the courthouse.
I understand that chickens don't use vibrators.
So what's the deal? Has he been charged with anything?
Yes, he's got a couple charges laid against him, but nothing major.
Philistines, the lot of them. They just don't understand. I've done nothing wrong.
What has he been charged with?
I believe trespassing and destruction of property there, old boy.
It's funny, really, in a very sad way. But I was doing some visual research, out driving around in the countryside, and a powerful idea for a symbol grabs a hold of me, just grabs me by the short and curlies. And I decide I need to manufacture my own surrealism. I grab the cameraman, and I find just the right pig in just the right field.
Damned thing. I was just sitting down to a cup of tea when I heard this ungodly squealing. So I walks over to the window, take a look out, and there's all this black, greasy smoke rising. And that there fella you say is a movie director was standing there with another fella, and for reasons I couldn't quite understand, they was filming one of our pigs, which was on fire. So I yells out to the wife, I says, "Hildy, there's two fellas out here, and they set one of our pigs on fire."
All I did was pour gasoline over the sow and take a match to it. And I had the cameraman capture all the aftermath on film. Pure visual poetry. The beast did this glorious death dance as it cried out through the crackling and the smoke for it all to end until its very last breath.
God's honest truth. I didn't know what to do. It was the first time that a couple of fellers ever stepped onto my property just to set one of my pigs on fire. So I tells Hilda to call the Mounties, and I went and grabbed my shotgun. Went outside and held them two fellers there till the RCMP arrived.
And then this maniac farmer comes out and points this rustic phallus at us and calls me a crazy bastard and shoots the pig.
It's the damnedest thing. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
Soon after, the police arrived. They take care of their own, you know.
When I arrived at the scene, the property owner had a double-barrel shotgun pointed at the suspects. He was understandably upset. I first told him to place his weapon on the ground. As he did, he pointed at the animal smoking carcass and told me his version of what had happened.
There it was, death. Flesh still crackling and blistering, a metaphor for everything.
I was sure that his actions constituted a crime. I called in the station to see if there was such a crime as animal arson or something similar. Apparently there isn't.
What do you expect from a fascist, eh?
Fascism, I suppose. Eh?
So I charged him with everything I felt I could: cruelty to animals, destruction of property, and trespassing. Unfortunately, in my opinion, these charges are not adequate enough to illustrate just how cruel and heinous Mr. Stravinsky's behavior was.
I can still hear its cries. It sounds like a baby crying for its mama. And that smell of burning pig flesh.
Blair, what is it? You look pissed off.
Pissed off just does not even begin to cover this one. I do not think that I have been in the presence of someone who has done something so unthinkable. And you know, you seem almost proud of yourself. And, you know, I think that you have some serious issues.
I should have done something. Anything.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't tell me I've managed just for a little minute to offend your middle-class, white, suburban, oh, golly, it's such a wonderful world sensibilities, have I?
You cannot take a superior stand on this one, buddy. What you have done offends me as a human being.
Oh, leave your beloved humanity out of this and climb down off your high horse. Yet your Western moral superiority just offends me. It's just so easy to wash your hands of responsibility and to say the blame elsewhere as long as the product and the carcass comes neatly wrapped and bundled at the local A.M.P. Gee, Dad, let's stick some burgers on the barbecue and then stick them on a bun and smother them in ketchup and mustard and a dozen ghastly condiments. And, boy, this charred animal flesh tastes really good. And you and your hypocritical siblings sitting in front of a big screen TV watching a movie about some talking pig and pass the ham and pass the bacon and pass the pork. And, gee, babe's fun to watch and good to eat. Is that it, Blair? Are you just so unwilling to comprehend the simple truth that meat is murder, that every hot dog is the byproduct of some hellish blood and death-soaked factory on its way to the local fast food joint? Are you just unwilling to look into the face of the dying animal?
I'm a bad man. I'm a very bad man. There's no bacon.
No, actually, you're way off the mark on this one. I have been vegan since I was old enough to make the choice.
Ah. Well, there it is then. I would just like to add that I gave that creature a far more noble death than that ridiculous farmer had to have in mind, with ending up as the main course for some bucolic Manitoban truck driver and his overfed, overstuffed, pig-like moronic wife and children. I gave him a noble demise. He symbolized art.
Bad, 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 bad. Fuck.
Damn filmmakers.
So that what we're dealing with at this point is a very rough element of the film. As far as I can see it, we are going to require a shitload of blood. So, that begs the question, do we go synthetic, or are we going to need to order in gallons and gallons of cow and or pig's blood?
Well, in my opinion, real blood would definitely be the way to go here. I mean, it's keeping it real, you know? And actors with blood all over themselves, their reactions are going to be exactly what we're looking for.
I don't know about that. Don't you think real blood might be a little unhygienic?
No. Real blood best. Organic. Sensual.
I have to vote for synthetic.
You see, real blood, which we used before, it tends to spoil if you let it sit too long. And the stuff that we ordered from the slaughterhouse had bits of bone and body parts in it. It ended up being a real insurance hassle.
Rusty, my man, always the practical one. Okay, I'll concur. Synthetic blood it is. Next issue.
This is to be a musical, right? Now, did you picture hiring someone locally, or did you have somebody specifically in mind?
Hey, ow! Jeez! Hey, let up! We're just...
Come on.
Hey!
Hey, Stravinsky.
Ow.
Stravinsky, it's a valid and relevant question.
Yes. Yes, it is. Making his intrusion all the more infuriating.
Hey! Hey!
I suppose.
Oh, hey! Oh, hey!
Very well, then. The musical score. Now, as we all know, this film is to be a musical. But I don't see it as a musical in the traditional sense of the word musical. I see this film as being something much more subtle.
Fascinating. And just how more subtle of a musical are we going to go?
Well, I would like it to be something more intangible. As far as the musical elements are concerned, I want this film to give the audience a great deal of credit. The acting, the dancing, the singing, the mincing, the musical numbers, I mean, they should all just be a given as part of the story. So that I don't feel we need to be particularly demonstrative with it.
Let me see if I got this straight. You want to do a musical with no singing, no dancing, and no musical score of any kind.
That's it exactly. I see this film, as musicals go, being completely devoid of all musical elements, and when you stack that alongside other musicals, it will stand alone. A truly revolutionary concept.
Right.
I see. Can I still dance?
Oh, that's a given.
Stravinsky, let me just backtrack here for a moment. I'm still of the opinion that real blood would...
Excuse me, Nigel. What are you doing?
Well, as the producer, I figured I should have a more proactive part in the creative process of this film.
I see. Yeah? I think I've got it now. Okay, well, Nigel, will you just do me one very small favor?
Right.
Will you stop it? Just don't do that anymore. Just stop it.
Well, I'm sorry. I just...
Don't be sorry. Just don't do it anymore.
Excuse me, but I am the financial backer of these films. And I do believe that gives me some right to input. It's just the way I feel about things. If you just want to sit there and stare at me all day, and that's your business, it's not mine. You're wasting your time, not mine. Hey, is somebody make him stop, eh? See, they don't care. I don't care. It's only you. All right, then, you want to play this game? Oh, I can play this game, too. How about if you don't see me, hey? Now who are you bothering? Can't even look me in the eye anymore, can you? Is he still looking? Your eyes are going to dry out. You'll be sorry. You don't scare me. I took on a bar full of wrestlers once. They were drunk. Just stop. 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 All right. This is stupid. This is silliness. Just go back, all right? For God's sake, just let's move on, shall we? We got a movie to make here, right? Do you want to make a movie? Or do you just want to stare? Look at me all day. You're not going to break me. I don't care. It's not bothering me, any of this. Please, 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 please just stop this. I can't take any more of this shit, David. For the love of God, just stop it. You want a finger? Is that it? You want me to cut off my finger and give it to you? I will. You know, I'll do it for you, man. All right, a finger and a toe. I'll give you a finger and a toe, but that's as far as I'll go, man. I'll get the waitress to bring over a knife. And I'll cut them off for you right now. Stop it, man. What else is there? What else can I do? Just somebody make him stop, huh? All right then, somebody kill me.
Well, now that we're all in agreement about the blood, next issue. Rusty, I want the sets to convey a real nowhereness.
You want the sets to be vague?
No, I want something far more imprecise than simply vague. I want to confuse the audience. I want them to believe that the film is set in a bedroom, in a cave, in a car wash, in a duck glazing factory, in Singapore, in Thailand, in a moving van, in my shoe, all at the same time. I want them to feel that it's set in the spring, in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, tropical tundra, all of these things, and yet never one in particular. I want the set to convey an industrial harshness, and yet a good deal of old-fashioned Christmas optimism.
Oh, I can't see that being any problem. I'll get in touch with the designer in London, and she'll get right on it.
No, I feel it important that we give this one to a genuine amateur. No, I don't want to make just another movie about murderous elves. I mean, I want to retain that sort of Santa's helpers quality, but I also want more of a Seven Dwarfs motif representing consumerism. But each and every one of them must have razor-sharp metallic teeth, representing the insatiable appetite of Ron Howard. No, scratch all that. I want a garden gnome. I think a garden gnome will convey everything I want to say at its most crass level. Yes, a garden gnome with razor-sharp metallic teeth. Good. Now leave. I find your presence disturbing.
What are we up to here? Rusty, this is some sort of adventure we're going on?
Oh, yes. It's an adventure night.
You ready for the adventure?
Big adventure now.
We're going. What is the adventure, Rusty?
Top secret. Can't talk about it, Nigel.
Right. Woo! Secret, eh? Last time things were top secret, my companions had their heads blown off in the Falklands.
Heads blown up. Woo!
Good work, driver.
Yes. You remember the driver?
From where? All right, then. Jesus, man, you're spilling all your cocaine all over yourself.
Man, you're spilling all your cocaine all over yourself.
Man. Well, let's see what he's going for here. Oh, look at that. He's jumping. He's leaping. Leaping. He's got a gnome snake. He took the gun gnome. Oh, my. Run, Rusty. That's it. Run like the wind. Good work.
Thank you. That saved us $10,000, Nigel. I'm a fucking genius. Come on, Nigel. Woo!
Yes, Rusty.
Big woman kissing. You don't know what you've been missing. get your heart full.
You know, Rusty, normally I'm very happy with the work you do, but this monstrosity isn't doing a single thing for me.
Oh, yeah, sure, but you have to realize that this is just a rough version of what you imagined.
It's very apparent that this is a rough version.
Yes, it's the roughest of rough versions.
Right. We can all agree that this is a rough version. The problem is, Rusty, that we gave you $10,000 to come up with a prototype, and what I'm looking at wouldn't fetch $4.95 at a flea market.
Excuse me, I hope I'm not interfering here, but I have something I must say.
There. I'd quite forgotten you were here. You must be doing very well with your fly on the wall routine.
Well, you've been doing what you've been doing here for more than 2 weeks, which is okay. It's just that we've gotten all the footage we could use, and maybe we'll return when you're ready to move on to something else. Do you have any idea how much longer you'll be involved in these meetings?
2 weeks, you say? I mean, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. It's actually closer to 2.5 weeks.
I mean, that's a long time. I really had no idea.
Well, do what you have to do. I don't want to interfere with the creative process. It's just that I think I'll hold off filming until there's something a little more worthwhile filming.
Oh, don't say another word. I completely understand, and there's no need to apologize. I rather appreciate your little feminine moxie. Well, in light of the facts just presented to us by the filmmaker, I deem it most efficacious that we should split for the studio, post-haste.
Sir Rusty, what did happen to all the money?
Yeah, I'm Randy. I've been working with David for about 5 years now, doing his production work and stuff. You know, what can I say?
Who in the cold Swedish fuck are you?
I'm Randy. I've been working with you for 5 years. I'm your production assistant.
Ah. Come, I have need of you.
So, your name is Nina?
Yeah, Nina, that is right.
Nina what?
Nina what? No, that's silly name. Just Nina.
I see, like Madonna, Prince, Nico, something like that?
Oh, no, Blair. Just Nina. Nina.
No, what I'm saying is that you have or you use no last name.
Oh, sure, last name, sure. Stravinsky.
Stravinsky?
Sure, he my husband. But, shh, enormous secret. You know, we married, go Hollywood. Not so bad. He important.
Ah, I see. You married him because he's important in Hollywood.
Oh, no, Blair. He important everywhere.
Oh?
You know the word. I think... Not important. Oh, baby, I'm important. I think impotent, yes. He's impotent.
I don't have very much information on you. Your bio...
Oh, yes, Blair, for sure. Me go both ways. Are you freaky, Blair?
Freaky? No. What I mean is your personal history. I don't have very much on you except that you're from Bonn, Germany, and that you've made a name for yourself as an exotic dancer.
No, Blair, that is not right. Not exotic dancer. Erotic dancer. You know, better, freakier.
Yes.
I woke up very early this morning, and words, English words, just kept coming to my brain over and over and over again. And 'tis my faith that Every flower enjoys the air that it breathes.
That's Browning, isn't it?
Oh, Blair, don't be silly. It's Wordsworth, of course.
All right. That's good. Who's in charge?
There ain't no one in charge here.
Well, a bunch of slack jaws out of the way. David Stravinsky's coming through. Shut your nose, David.
Line fucking going in there. Well, someone has to go in. Blair, what about you? These are your people. Talk some sense into them. They're islanders.
No, no way. I am purely an observer here. Remember the whole fly on the wall bit?
Ah, yes, the whole insect thing.
Oh shit. No way. No way. I'm not cut out for this kind of stuff. People hate me. What? They hate me. They're gonna try to negotiate with me. They're gonna try to kill me.
It's simply a matter of you being the most expendable. Don't take it to heart.
Expendable? You bastard! If it wasn't for me, nothing would get done. Just because I'm not drunk all the time. Can't we just draw straws or something?
I'll tell you why we don't draw straws, you little pus sack. Why don't you just accept the fact that it would be redundant? You have already drawn the short straw in life. Accept your role in the universe. Step up to the plate for once in your pitiful existence and get hit by the ball.
Oh no. You're not going to manipulate me into this one. I'm not going in there.
Listen to me, you personification of mediocrity. Either you go in there on your own 2 feet, or Rusty Hill will throw you to those wolves.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just covering my own ass.
Alright, fine. But this is the last shit job I'm doing. You guys are going to have to find yourselves another whipping boy. After this, I resign.
So, great Stravinsky finally decided to show. As a member of the crew, I'd like to tell you your negligent behavior sucks. Oh, true, the beer has been quite plentiful, but I find that your people skills are severely lacking.
Yes, well, enough of this pointless small talk. Just what will it take to reach an end to this situation?
See what I mean about people skills? Okay, Stravinsky, here's the deal. We got us a hostage, and if you want him back in one piece, we demand the lump sum of $100,000. That we want our beer rations doubled.
All right, I'll give you $10,000 and I'll increase your beer by 25%. But for that, you have to kill your hostage.
Kill him? I don't think anybody's gonna kill anybody.
Those are my terms. You must kill your hostage. I will require his left hand as proof that the deed has been done.
Geez, I really don't want to kill this guy.
Then I don't think we have anything more to talk about.
But can't we negotiate, reach some kind of middle ground here?
All right, I'll give you $5,000 and the extra beer. But you have to keep the hostage.
Keep him? Where the hell am I going to keep the hostage?
That is your problem. On this point, I am inflexible.
Okay, fine. What else can I say? We'll keep the stupid hostage.
Excellent.
Auditions? What the hell is this? Come on.
Give me something!
I don't believe you!
What the hell is going on here?
Auditions, of course. And I thought I made it quite clear that we wanted to be disturbed.
Yeah, I can see why you didn't want to be disturbed, you sick bastard!
Sick bastard? Well, perhaps I should start referring to you as Blair the Offended. But now, you should leave. We'll discuss the future of your little documentary later. You obviously have no concept of sort of vision required.
You
everything we've exposed you to, it's indicative of postmodernism. Postmodernism. See?
Yeah, postmodernism, my ass. The bunch of you and your behavior are only indicative of late-stage alcoholism and advanced liver disease. And this is just an excuse for a couple of sicko bastards to play out some sexist, perverted, dysfunctional, fucked-up fantasy.
Blair, would you mind? You're leaking estrogen all over the floor, and these are rather new shoes. But if that's the way you see it, you leave me no alternative.
You prick! If you do that again, I swear to fucking God, I will kill you, David.
What's the matter, Blair? You find this gun a bit too phallic, but you don't like the phallus. You don't like the penis. You find male love juice too salty. Yes, well now you've done it. You've emasculated me. You've taken away my phallus. Will you feel better now, Blair? Do you feel like a real woman? Is the universe as it should be?
My God, Blair. How could you do such a thing, Blair? How? Oh, God. Another great one has fallen.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. I have no idea what came over me. He was just making me so...
That's because nothing came over you, Blair. Nothing. You're only exposed to the world what is underneath all of you. You're a brute, Blair. You know what else you are? You're conventional. Hear that? You're conventional. What the hell are you laughing at, Ruskin? Whiskey's fallen.
I'm sorry, this is really fucking funny.
Excuse me, did I get the part?
Well, the whole thing was so innocent, really. I can't believe it caused such a stir. As I recall, they just fixed up my nose and said I should stick around for a CAT scan, make sure everything was right with the old noggin. So I found myself waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. My restlessness bested only by relentless boredom. And then, there she was. A beautiful young woman in a perfectly fitted nurse's uniform. Ooh, I love those uniforms. Right. Well, I was desperately in need of entertainment, so I decided to entertain myself. Which euphemism would be the most appropriate? Well, I began to spank the monkey, commenced the five-knuckle shuffle, shook hands with the wife's best friend. I was punching the bishop,
Right.
flogging the log, punishing the dolphin, giving myself a quick five, making a two-stroke motor with a fleshy pink shuffle. And, well, she freaked out. It had me thrown bodily from the ward. I can't believe a healthcare professional would be so bloody sexually repressed. I mean, she must be used to seeing bodily fluids and men masturbating on a rather constant basis, wouldn't one think?
Right.
And I thought I had erection problems, and I do! That's the irony of it.
Right. Isn't that interesting, David?
Yes.
So, what?
We have been waiting an hour and a half. Is Stravinsky coming or not?
This is odd, Blair. See, he did leave the hotel before me, and he told me he'd meet me here, and he actually did seem eager to get to work.
great considering what happened last time he was late. God, he's probably out filming some burning orphans.
Yes, he probably is.
Well, we're just gonna be sitting around here waiting for him anyway. I have something I'd like to share with everybody.
Share away.
It's about me and Blair.
Don, I don't think that's appropriate.
It was the big deal, Blair. You know, it'll make a great addition to the video. Besides, if you want to edit it out later, you can always do that.
That is not the point, Don. Can we just leave this alone, please? We'll talk about it later.
No, I don't want to talk about it later. Besides, I think the public has a right to know. So, everyone, I have an announcement to make. Last night, after we got thrown out of the bar, well, Blair and I went back to my hotel room. It started off fairly innocent, but ended up a lot like that scene from, you know, Night of the Giving Head, you know, the ones with the rubber chickens and the midgets. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, minus the midgets, it was a lot like that. So, it was fucking excellent, man. 3 weeks of work, and the wall finally comes crashing down. And I gotta tell you, man, she is one for the spank bank.
Huzzah!
I'm sorry. We'll talk about this later, okay? Will you please just take the camera off of me? Will you stop glaring at me with that thing? We'll talk about this later, okay? So just get the camera off my face. Listen, I am not asking you. I am telling you. Either film the others or turn that thing off. Got it?
Chug! Chug! Chug-a-lum! Chug!
Right on, man! Woo! Woo! Good work, cameraman. That was excellent, you thirsty fuck.
How are you holding up that camera? Whoa!
He looks like the poo from a horse.
Claire.
Alright, pillows, good idea.
Okay. It has been more than 3 hours now. I don't think the great one is going to show. So I'm just going to wrap things up for the day, which is good, because I feel like shit anyway. I'm just going to go to the doctor and get a shot of penicillin.
Actually, Blair, my instincts tell me you should be hanging around. I think we should all go looking for Stravinsky. I have a feeling he's up to something interesting. I believe we should start by checking the local bars.
Got his mouth on something he's not supposed to. Stop burying your brother in the freaking dirt! What's wrong with you? I once married this drunk from Newfoundland. He used to sit around all day and drink shine, wander down the beach looking for driftwood that looked like Elvis. Never found any. Kind of a dumb bastard, actually. He saw this program one time. Found out that these little fish could live in the arse hole of a sea cucumber. So anytime I'd get a little down, he'd say, hey, you're lucky you don't live in the arse hole of a sea cucumber. Didn't help me much. I'd just crack him over the head with a beer bottle. He died, though. They said it was booze that got to him, but I think it was the truck that hit him. He was a nice enough fella. Remember this other fella? He's a German man. Said, oh, you can only dream in fractions. Whatever the hell that means. Said some expectations are only disappointments in reverses. Weird guy. Stravinsky was his name. Said you could meet him at Water Street in Putnam. Yeah, that's one weird little bastard. He's charming, though. He's charming. What are you kids up to over there? I told you, you little bastard. Get him out of there. He's going to freaking croak on us, and then the cops will be here again.
Come on. Come on.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yo, have you seen David Stravinsky?
Stravinsky? Friend or foe? I don't know. This I do know. Aliens are here. They're surrounding us. I can see them. And you know something else? They take the form of smells.
You mean aliens from outer space?
No, you big loaf of bread. I mean aliens from Ecuador. I'll let you in on a little secret. Behind the library, there's an escalator, elevator. That takes you straight down to hell. If you ever travel on that unholy device, be sure to stick a pickle up your arse, or the gatekeeper will never, ever, ever let you leave. You believe me, don't you?
Yeah, sure I believe you, yeah.
You do? What are you, some kind of lunatic? How the hell would a pickle up your arse save you from eternal damnation? And people call me crazy.
All right, just tell me, where in hell can I find David Stravinsky?
Oh, yeah. Stravinsky. He's waiting for you in the woods, on the far side of the park. But beware. Those very woods are filled with malicious spirits. Beware, you lumbering oaf. Beware the evil that haunts Dead Man's Pond.
Woods? What woods?
Over there, in the park. But beware of Dead Man's Pond.
That park over there?
Yes, that park over there. The one with the sign that says, beware the evil that haunts Dead Man's Pond.
You don't say. There you go, buddy. Don't spin it all one place, all right? Yeah, that's what a nut bar.
Beware the evil that haunts Dead Man's Pond.
Who the fuck is that? Oh, you remember. The little man. The
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll start in with that pimply, whiny voice of yours. It'll just be like jagged piece of metal jabbing me in the fucking eye.
Oh. Yeah, thanks a lot, kooky chick. Where the freaking Stravinsky? I'm gonna sue his ass, man. This sucks. You guys are very professional. I just gotta...
What the fuck is that, man? That's David! Holy fuck, this is a weird day. Oh, we better stop him before the authorities get to him.
When I arrived on the scene, I found the filmmaker David Stravinsky in a state of undress and behaving strangely.
Do not believe yourselves to be inferior. Rejoice! The human condition by its very nature is an insanity. Each of you possess the profound insight, the honesty to accept that which is evident, a truth most of us find disagreeably hard to look upon. True, the conditions here leave something to be desired, but every day, 4 times a day, some of the best drugs ever created are administered free and legal. So hold your heads up high and know that you are blessed. And now, I must return to the insanity known as reality. I'm slightly touched, but that is my lot, and I must accept it. Goodbye.
Okay, people, we have a lot of work to do. This project is heading in an entirely new direction. I've had a vision! We're finally going to be on the right track. I have the script already written. You must be prepared for all that you cannot be prepared for when dealing with the arts, my friend.
Okay, so what's this new film all about?
Oh, I loathe explaining myself. But if you must, okay, bear with me. Now, it takes place sometime in the future at sort of an indeterminate point of time, and the government begins funding the costs of abortion, something to do with overpopulation and all that, blah, 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 blah. But the government, being the government, begins to fall behind, so a backlog starts piling up. And so that it happens that maybe one day you're, say, 20 years old, minding your own business, and your name appears on a work order. So, a van pulls up, and it's all painted sort of powder blue and little girly pink with pictures of donuts on the side of it and playing nursery music, and this big suction tube comes down off the top of the van and grabs you up and sucks you back in. Your mother gets an apology note for taking so long to get around to the fact. Bang! End of story. It practically writes itself. But what do you think?
Genius, man. Just pure genius. It's a postmodern, industrial, avant-garde, neo-serialistic, pseudo-sci-fi masterpiece.
Yes!
My friend, oh, we're cooking with gas now, eh?
God, you're kidding, right? That's your great new concept.
Blair, do you know what your problem is? Your imagination lacks vision. Your soul lacks depth. I mean, no idea sounds that bloody good when you just blurt it out verbally. I mean, do you think that people really came in their pants when old Orson walked into the office one day and says, "Hello chaps, I've got this idea for a film. It's about this old fart named Kane who dies on his bed muttering Rosebud." And everybody in the film spends the rest of the movie running around trying to figure out what he was talking about, and they find out at the very end that it's just some stupid sleigh he had when he was a child. I mean, it's laughable and ludicrous.
Well, I don't know. Sounds a little better than pretty painted abortion trucks.
Yes, Blair. I like you. You challenge me. Yes, everybody needs someone like you around. Well, you will see soon enough. This film may very well turn out to be my finest effort to date.
I'm gonna need $10,000 just to get started.
Rusty, my man, I knew you were going to say that. I have here...
What?
Oh, fuck, it's the Duchess.
Oh, my.
Hello, my dear.
This insanity ends here and now. Oh, I'll be heading home, my sweet husband, and you will be coming with me.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid that's just not possible, my sweet angel. We're all quite busy here, you know.
Oh, is that right, sweetheart? And just what is it that you and this reprobate do, anyway?
We make movies, my love. It's culture and art.
Oh,
you understand the art?
culture my arse. The two of you and the rest of these sponges do nothing more than fly around the globe getting drunk on my money. I am sick of this bullshit.
Now, I'm afraid that today has turned out to be a very bad one for my friend Nigel. You see, that perpetually pissed off woman over there happens to be his wife. A woman that Nigel has, for some very good reason, made a lifetime vocation of avoiding. Well, this promises to be interesting. Let's keep watching, shall we?
It's embarrassing. People ask me where you are, and I don't know what to tell them. I tried telling them that you were mapping Africa until I found out that Africa has already been mapped.
Oh, yeah.
And now your sweet barracuda of mother is on my back to have a grandchild.
What? A grandchild?
I am taking you home so that you can impregnate me.
I don't think that's necessary. Why don't I mail you off some of my seed?
Obviously, two people so much in loathe with each other would be perfect candidates for divorce under the perfect circumstances. But the real tragedy here is that Nigel's mother insisted he get married. And since none of the women from reputable families would have anything to do with him, it was rather left to him marrying this commoner. I believe she was a fishmonger. I wonder how we'll get out of this one. Let's keep watching.
I went and spoke to a barrister. I have had you declared non-compos mentis.
Non-compos mentis.
I am now in complete control of the family fortune, and your mother is behind me 100%. I expect to see you home shortly. There's a plane ticket waiting for you at the hotel.
Well, I'm just not going home. Well, maybe. This is quite the interesting turn of events, eh?
Rather.
Well, frankly, I never knew she had a dinner, really.
I told you, Old Bean, never underestimate the old Aunt Kay.
So, what do you make of all this then, eh? What is this indicative of? Old boy, help me out here.
Being shit out of luck, I'm afraid.
Maybe it's not as bad as it seems. I mean, I can just go talk some sense into it. That's what I'll do. I'll talk sense into it.
Yes, always go down swinging. Poor deluded Nigel.
So, Stravinsky, why don't you tell us a little more about this new direction that the film is going to be taking, man?
Don! Even my English is not that good, but I understand there is no more movie.
Huh. Well, I guess it's back to the treatment center for me. See you guys later.
Don, this rehab shit, does it hurt?
Well, guess that just about wraps things up. I can't believe it's over. Stravinsky, can I talk to you for a second?
So let me get this straight. The film's over? That's it? We're done?
That about sums it up.
Okay, guys, it's over. Grab what you can and get out.
I guess this is the end. Is there anything you'd care to add?
Those of you viewing this must think this is a bitter pill for me to swallow, but alas, I've grown too weary to taste its disenchantment. Weary of the battles an artist must wage for his voice to be heard. Weary of the compromised commerce that has to be made. Since time began, the artist has had to submit his work to the vulgar tastes of those with the money necessary to create. Why must this be so? Why is all art praised in the past tense? Why do we spit and piss upon artists, waiting for them to die before we confer upon them any respectability? For those of us still breathing, there is the constant struggle against the safe, womb-like forces of mediocrity. Well, those forces have done their work well upon their soul. I have no fight left in me. This film was to be my swan song, and how very fitting that it's all turned out this way. I will retreat, and I shall not rise again. The moneylenders have won. The forces of mundane have stamped out that which they couldn't understand, this time in the force of a fishmonger housewife whose only concern was to reproduce so she may retain a meaningless title. Do the fates know no shame?
Is that it then? Is that all you had to say?
Yes, that about covers it. You don't think it was too over the top, do you?
Well, this is it. I haven't seen or heard a thing from anyone related to the film project for a few days now. I just assumed they all went home, but our cameraman here spotted Nigel and Nita sitting having a coffee. So I thought it'd be a good idea to see where things stand now. Shall we?
Claire, my dear. How are you? It's, just the woman I wanted to see.
Hello, Blair. How are you?
Well, I must say that I'm surprised to see you both. I thought everyone had left the island.
Oh, no, I had a few things I had to finish up before I, take off. Besides, Nina is staying, I believe.
Oh, yes. It's such a beautiful place. So organic. Me and Don are going to stay and get peaceful.
So you're not going with your husband, Stravinsky?
Yeah.
No, Blair. Where he's going, I'm not going for some time.
I assume, you haven't heard then, have you?
No. Heard what?
Stravinsky's dead. He committed suicide.
What? Is this one of his stunts or something?
No, I'm sorry, Blair. I'm afraid it's true.
Yeah, it's true, Blair.
Well, you both seem to be taking it really well. Nigel, you were his friend, and you've never looked better. Nina, you were his wife?
Blair, this isn't really worth getting all worked up about. I mean, if you're a man like David Stravinsky, burning the candle at both ends, you're bound to crash and burn eventually, right? Now, I've had about a couple days now to sort of straighten up, clean up my act somewhat, and, well, I've come to the conclusion it all had to end anyway, so in a sense, his death is fitting. It just feels right.
You were his friend. His passing has no effect on you whatsoever.
No, Blair. No, it doesn't. See, Stravinsky's only relationship in life was with his work. As a person, he was, frankly, quite horrible to be around, to deal with. I mean, you know that better than anyone, right? Besides, everything he did led to his own demise. I was just along for the ride, see where it would all end up, and, well, this is it.
Yeah, Blair, he's gone. What can you say? So long, I guess.
So long. Now that you're here, David stated in his suicide note that you had to have this. Now, it hasn't been opened. I have no idea what it is.
He wanted me to have this. I don't know what to say. This is really fucked up.
Right. I mean, would you expect anything else from a man named David Stravinsky? Anyhow, be leaving town now shortly, so I suppose I should say it's been a pleasure meeting you, and working together has been a real blast, eh?
Yeah, a real blast.
Right.
Okay. So in the envelope that Nigel gave me was just a videotape and a handwritten letter. On the videotape was one of Stravinsky's earlier works. And I must admit, this is not anything I would have expected from a man named David Stravinsky. I mean, it was intelligent, thought-provoking, and witty. And this, from a man who thought that pretty painted abortion trucks would make a great film. And the note. The note reads something like life is art and art is life, and the mystery of all is knowing when one ends and the next begins. Do you see what he is saying? And then he goes on to say, if you understand that, then you will understand this next part. Thank you very much for making my film. Do you see what he is saying? He staged the whole thing, and I filmed it. It's fucking brilliant. The man's a goddamn genius. You know, I also have to conclude this Stravinsky, he's not dead. He just staged that, like everything else. Not dead. Nina and Dawn are living in a cabin somewhere in the woods, getting in touch with nature and all that bullshit. But I know why they stayed. They stayed to see how Stravinsky's movie's getting along. That's why they've stayed. I know. You know, my friends say that I've become a little obsessed and paranoid. I don't know. Maybe I do have a little Stravinsky on the brain. But if I am right, and you are still out there, David, I am coming for you. Do you hear me? I am coming for you. This is not the way the film ends. This is not the way the film ends!